Spanish, always. I work with North American people and I read some articles and messages and things, but books, I haven't done it yet. But I want to, so I think I can start with this book. I'm really interested in reading it. In my understanding, this book is easy to understand for regular people just like you and I that don't have like a good base on physics. So I think it's easy to read, easy to understand, and well, let's get started. There are more books: The Ground Design, Black Holes and Baby Universes, and more. Alright, I have the contents here. Forward. I didn't write a foreword to the original edition of A Brief History of Time. That was done by Carl Sagan. Instead, I wrote a short piece titled Acknowledgements, in which I was advised to thank everyone. Some of the foundations that have given me support weren't too pleased to have been mentioned. However, because it led to a great increase in applications, I don't think anyone, my publishers, my agent, or myself, expected the book to do anything like as well as it did. It was in the London Sunday Times bestseller list for 237 weeks, longer than any other book. Apparently, the Bible and Shakespeare aren't counted. It has been translated into something like 40 languages and has sold about one copy for every 750 men, women, and children in the world. As Nathan Myhrvold, I don't know how to pronounce that, of Microsoft, a former postdoc of mine, remarked, I have sold more books on physics than Madonna has on sex. The success of A Brief History indicates that there is widespread interest in the big questions like where did we come from and why is the universe the way it is. I have taken the opportunity to update the book and include new theoretical and observational results obtained since the book was first published on April Fool's Day, 1988. I have included a new observational laws that we may discover and understand. On the observational side, by far the most important development has been the measurement of fluctuation in the cosmic microwave background radiation by COBE, the Cosmic Background Explorer Satellite, and other collaborations. These fluctuations are the fingerprints of creation, tiny initial irregularities in the otherwise smooth and uniform early universe that later grew into galaxies, stars, and all the structures we see around us. Their form agrees with the predictions of the proposal that the universe has no boundaries or ages and imaginary time direction. But further observations will be necessary to distinguish this proposal from other possible explanations for the fluctuations in the background. However, within a few years, we should know whether we can believe that we live in a universe that is completely self-contained and without a beginning or end. Stephen Hawking, Cambridge, May 1996. Just for you to know, this is my second time using full lashes, and this is really hurting the inner corner of my eye. Let's forget about it and continue. Okay, there's another foreword. It says a foreword to the 2017 edition. As Richard Feynman once observed, we are lucky to live in an age in which we are still making discoveries. The age in which we live in the age in which we are discovering the fundamental laws of nature. Since first publication of this book on April 1st, 1988, and its last version in 1996, there have been some remarkable new discoveries in physics. And while some of the theories I discussed in the original text remain the same, in some cases a new picture of reality is emerging. So I am pleased to have the opportunity to add in the appendix to this new edition updates on 6 topics that underpin some of my proudest accomplishments as physicist. My singularity theorems with Roger Penrose and the so-called Hawking radiation from black holes, and my no-boundary proposal, an attempt to unify Einstein's work with quantum mechanics. As before, my goal is to highlight the excitement of these discoveries for all readers interested in the big, basic questions about our universe. Now, we start a brief history of time. Chapter 1. Our picture of the universe. A well-known scientist, some say it was Bertrand Russell, once gave a public lecture on astronomy. He described how the Earth orbits around the Sun and how the Sun, in turn, orbits around the center of a vast collection of stars called our galaxy. At the end of the lecture, a little old lady at the back of the room got up and said, "What you have told us is rubbish. The world is really a flat plate supported on the back of a giant tortoise. I don't know how to pronounce it." The scientist gave a superior smile before replying, "What is the tortoise standing always have a beginning? And if so, what happened before then? What is the nature of time? Will it ever come to an end? Can we go back in time? Recent breakthroughs in physics made possible in part by fantastic new technologies suggest answers to some of these long-standing questions. Someday these answers may seem as obvious to us as the Earth orbiting the Sun, or perhaps as ridiculous as a tower of tortoises. Only time, whatever that may be, will tell. As long ago as 340 BC, before Christ, the Greek philosopher Aristotle, in his book on the heavens, was able to put forward two good arguments for believing that the Earth was a round sphere rather than a flat plate. First, he realized that eclipses of the moon were caused by the Earth coming between the Sun and the Moon. The Earth's shadow on the Moon was always round, which will be true only if the Earth was spherical. If the Earth had been a flat disk, the shadow would have been elongated and elliptical. Okay guys, my roomie just arrived, so there's probably gonna be sounds on the background. I'm gonna read a little bit more, but if I hear a lot of noises, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put my glasses on. First, he realized that the eclipses of the moon were caused by the Earth coming between the Sun and the Moon. The Earth's shadow on the Moon was always round, which will be true only if the Earth was spherical. If the Earth had been a flat disk, the shadow would have been elongated and elliptical, unless the eclipse always occurred at a time when the Sun was directly under the center of the disk. Second, the Greeks knew from their travels that the North Star appeared lower in the sky when viewed in the south than it did in more northerly regions. Since the North Star lies over the North Pole, it appears to be directly above an observer at the North Pole, but to someone looking from the equator, it appears to lie just at the horizon. From the difference in apparent position of the North Star in Egypt and Greece, Aristotle even quoted an estimate that the distance around the Earth was 400,000 stadia. It is not known exactly what length a stadia was, but it may have been about 200 yards, which would make Aristotle's estimate about twice the current accepted figure. The Greeks even had a third argument that the Earth must be round, for why else does one first see the sails of a ship coming over the horizon and only later see the hull? Aristotle thought the Earth was stationary, and that the Sun, the Moon, the planets, and stars moved in circular orbits about the Earth. He believed this because he felt, for mystical reasons, that the Earth was the center of the universe and the circular motion was the most perfect. This idea was elaborated by Ptolemy in the 2nd century AD into a complete cosmologic model. The Earth stood at the center, surrounded by 8 spheres that carried the Moon, the Sun, the stars, slow, but nevertheless his motto was generally, although not universally accepted. It was adopted by the Christian Church as the picture of the universe that was in accordance with Scripture, but it had the great advantage that it left lots of rooms outside the sphere affixed the stars of heaven and hell. Okay guys, this was all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Remember that if you're enjoying my content, please do me a favor and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and please let me know if you want me to